Chapter 356. The Hairy Men. 5 days later, the three light pillars appeared on Sancha Mountain, piercing through the clouds towards the sky. The red light pillar was burning like fire. It was King Bao's inheritance. Yellow light pillar was bright and dazzling. It was King Quan's inheritance. Blue light pillar had a demonic charm. It was King Xian's inheritance. After a gap of several months, three kings' inheritance opened again. Yihua gazed at these three light pillars at the peak. His fierce eyes under his dashing brows flickered with faint radiance. Is this three kings' inheritance? Sure enough, it gives off a magnificent feeling. As long as I accomplish great achievements here, I can truly join Shang Clan and change my surname to Shang, becoming a member of Shang Clan. Right now, excitement was surging like waves in his heart. Little Beast King doesn't know what's good for him, actually refusing me again and again. But he apparently knows some secrets related to three kings' inheritance. If I can take him in as my subordinate, it will be a great help to me in controlling Sancha Mountain. Yihua could not help but think of Fang Yuan. Yihua was one of the 5 great elders of Shang Clan and possessed his own information channel. He already knew Fang Yuan had made a huge sum of money at Shang Clan City by relying on his knowledge of some secrets of three kings' inheritance. Besides this, Fang Yuan, himself, possessed outstanding battle prowess, having the fighting strength of a rank 4 middle stage. Moreover, Bai Ningbing never left the Little Beast King's side. Recruiting one naturally meant gaining the other. Thus, Yihua had accommodated to Fang Yuan and displayed complete sincerity to move him. But Fang Yuan did not know what was good for him and refused him time and again. Yihua could not help starting to feel angry. When I come out of three kings' inheritance, I will teach this Little Beast King a lesson and let him know that not everyone can fetch a good price. But, for now, I need to suppress some hindrances. Yihua collected his disorganized thoughts and looked towards the few figures at a distance. Pink Butterfly Gentleman Kong Ri Tian. He who once dyed the sky blue, Long Qing Tian. Wu Clan Elder Wu Shintong. Yi Clan Elder Yi Chong. These 4 were all rank 4 peak stage experts. Every time the inheritance opened, they would be the first to move towards the entrance. This time was no exception. Ha ha ha. I have reserved King Bao inheritance. Who dares to contend with me? Yihua threw his head back and laughed loudly, his laughter wild and unrestrained. He crossed his arms and looked at the 4 with a fierce gaze. He was Fire Path Gu Master. King Bao was also of the same path. King Bao's inheritance was naturally the best choice for him. Blazing Inferno. Wu Shintong narrowed his eyes and mumbled with some fear towards Yihua's reputation. Yihua was one of the 5 great generals of Shang Clan with the nickname of Blazing Inferno. He was at the peak of power. Even Wu Shintong had no choice but to admit that Yihua was a notch above him. I will deal with you. Kong Ri Tian snorted. His whole body suddenly exploded and turned into phoenix-winged golden butterflies. Hundreds and thousands of golden butterflies, with wings as sharp as knives, enveloped Yihua, Blazing Inferno. You have been in the limelight the last few years. Long Qing Tian also laughed gloomily and pushed his palm. Whoosh, a greenish-blue palm of light, with poison gas curling around it, broke the void and directly smacked towards Yihua's face. Let me spar too. Yi Chong sneered and suddenly moved. Swish, blue water waves surged up out of nowhere, engulfing Yihua within. All of a sudden, 3 rank 4 peak stage Gu Masters attacked Yihua at the same time. Good. Yihua's lips curled up into an arrogant smile. He stretched his arms, then smacked his chest with his palms. Bam! Majestic flames suddenly burst forth. In an instant. The fiery color overwhelmed the light pillars of 3 kings' inheritance and illuminated Sancha Mountain. Flames surged up with incomparable heat and ferocity. The flames effortlessly covered the water wave, burned the poison palm, and sent the phoenix-winged golden butterflies retreating in a sorry figure. The golden butterflies flew far away and converged, changing back into Kong Ri Tian. This is his rank 5 Gu Prairie Fire? Seeing such a huge fire, Yi Chong and Long Qing Tian's expressions changed. Kong Ri Tian did not say a word, while Wu Shintong's eyes flashed. This is the might of Elder Yihua. Shang Clan Gu Masters shouted out loudly in excitement. Yihua stood proudly within the flames, giving a feeling of a deity. His fiery red hair seemed to merge with the flames, giving off a wild and intense bearing. The flames swiftly dispersed, and he walked towards the red light pillar, King Bao inheritance. The 4 Gu Masters watched him move towards the light pillar. All of their expressions were more or less stiff and unsightly, but they did not block him. This was them acknowledging Yihua's might. After Yihua entered King Bao inheritance, Kong Ri Tian and other 3 glanced at each other, but they had no more interest to fight. Among them, Kong Ri Tian and Long Qing Tian entered King Xian inheritance. Wu Shintong and Yi Chong entered King Quan inheritance. Yihua is worthy of being one of the 5 great experts of Shang clan. He has rank 5 Gu Prairie Fire, formidable indeed. These days, Yihua has been repeatedly going to Little Beast King's place. Their relation is not shallow. Humph. Black and white twin demons are known as demonic path Gu masters, but they are actually lackeys of righteous path. They spent some time at Shang clan, and everyone knows they have a deep relation with Shang clan's young master Shang Xinci. A group of rank 4 upper stage Gu masters started discussing after they saw Yihua suppressing other 4 Gu masters and enter the light pillar with his head high. Birds of a feather flock together. Rank 4 peak stage experts had all entered the inheritance. Now it was these people's turn. Century Boy, your goddaughter Shui Sensi was killed by Little Beast King. When are you going to take revenge? A righteous Gu master among the group suddenly asked while taking gloating at his misfortune. Century Boy coldly snorted. Although Yihua has rank 5 Gu, the battle just before was only a probe. No one used their true methods. If they were to truly fight it out, who lives and who dies is still not certain. Although he said so, he was actually very afraid. He had thought of taking the chance that Bai Ningbing was imprisoned to find trouble for Fang Yuan. But Yihua repeatedly visited Fang Yuan's residence, so he could only restrain his impulse and quietly observe. Now, when he saw Yihua easily suppressing other 4, Century Boy's heart became much more heavy. Such a great opportunity like 3 kings' inheritance is in front of us, who will foolishly battle each other to death. Let's go, we need to enter too. Soon, this group of rank 4 upper stage Gu masters also entered the inheritance. Fang Yuan climbed up to the peak and was immediately recognized. Little Beast King. It is Fang Zheng. He is entering King Xian inheritance. From the peak to the middle of mountain, many Gu masters stared as they looked at Fang Yuan entering into the light pillar. He really forgot about his partner? BNB is still trapped by the 4 old fellows of Tai clan. This Fang Zheng is actually paying it no heed as if nothing has happened, like he hasn't heard of it. Even demonic Gu masters felt a chill in their hearts. Look, this is the heartlessness of demonic path Gu masters. Some righteous path Gu masters commented disdainfully. Fang Yuan, you bastard. Bai Ningbing also witnessed this scene from inside the Qi barrier. Her face became pale with anger. She clenched her fists tightly and fiercely gritted her teeth. The 4 old-timers of Tai clan looked at each other. They were in an embarrassing situation right now. Although they succeeded in trapping Bai Ningbing, Fang Yuan did not come to rescue her. This made their defensive tactics a cold irony. Damn it. We can't deal with so many matters. This time, there will be no share for us at 3 kings' inheritance. How about we retreat? Impossible. We 4 move together. If we retreat without gaining anything, this will be an insult to our Tai clan, and I am afraid we will not be able to raise our heads in front of others. Then what should we do? 3 pairs of eyes looked at the 4th old man, their leader. The old man pondered for a while and made a decision. He spoke with a heavy voice. Request for reinforcements. Shang clan has sent reinforcement. There will naturally be support from our Tai clan too. In the present situation, the competition has turned more intense. Only rank 4 peak stage powers can fight for a seat. As long as the clan sends a rank 4 peak stage reinforcement, then with our rank 4 middle stage strength. Big brother is right. Shang clan has sent Yihua. If we ask for reinforcement now, we won't lose face. Right. We need to ask support from the clan. There was endless gray fog completely filling Fang Yuan's vision and reminding him that he had already entered King Xian inheritance. Fang Yuan surveyed his surroundings. He could not tell east from west. However, in his aperture, spring-autumn cicada shook its wings slightly. The flow of time here was still 3 times faster than the outside world. I need to hurry. Fang Yuan felt a sense of urgency. The constantly recovering spring-autumn cicada was becoming more and more like a ticking time bomb. He grabbed a paper crane Gu and activated it. A key was required to enter King Xian inheritance, and it was a paper crane Gu. At this very moment, Fang Yuan could only use paper crane Gu. His other Gu besides spring-autumn cicada were all suppressed by the heavenly power. Paper crane Gu floated in the air in front of him. It flapped its wings and led the way ahead. Fang Yuan followed the paper crane and slowly moved forward. He reached a hill and could see a blurry human figure in the fog. Human, come out, compete. Let's compete. The human figure opened its mouth. The sound was boorish and sporadic. When Fang Yuan walked closer, the human figure gradually became clearer. His figure was similar to ordinary humans, 2 hands and 2 legs. It was just that he was very buff, and reddish-brown hair grew from all over his body, chest, limbs, even on his face and buttocks. He looked at Fang Yuan with his bronze bell-like large eyes. Compete. Let's compete. Lose. Die. He roared. His eyes were filled with blood veins and looked very malevolent. Fang Yuan had already expected this and was not surprised, his expression calm. This was a mutated human. Beasts had mutated beasts, just like Biao among the tigers, Leakin among wolves and Mastiff among dogs. Humans also had mutated humans. The mutated human Fang Yuan ran into now was a hairy man. Hairy man's whole body were covered with hair, even their eyelids. This type of mutated human has extremely low intelligence but had natural talent in Gu refinement. There was a group of hairy man and King Xian inheritance. They were the obstacles Gu masters had to clear to go forward. Only by winning against them could the Gu masters continue on. If they lost, the Gu masters would be torn to shreds by the powerful hairy men and become their food. Come. Fang Yuan stood at a distance of 10 steps from the hairy man with a tranquil expression. Several Gu along with some materials appeared out of nowhere in the air and floated lightly to Fang Yuan's hands. At the same time, the hairy man also received the same things. The Gu refinement had begun. Winner lives, loser dies. Chapter 357. Legend of the Hairy Men. The earliest record of hairy men was in Legends of Renzu. It was said that Renzu dug out his 2 eyes which turned into a son and a daughter. The son was Verdant Great Sun, and the daughter was Desolate Ancient Moon. Verdant Great Sun liked to drink wine a lot. One time he caused an incident while being drunk and was trapped at the depths of the ordinary abyss. In the end, he profited from the disaster and obtained reputation Gu which looked like chrysanthemum and was able to escape alive. Because of reputation Gu, Verdant Great Sun's reputation gradually became bigger. Soon, news that Verdant Great Sun was a huge drunkard spread all over the world. One day, a group of tiger-striped honeybees brought their beehive and found Verdant Great Sunday. Verdant Great Sun, we heard you really like drinking wine, and you have been saying the wine made by the 4 heaven and earth monkeys are the most delicious in the world. But how could the wine they brewed compare to our honey wine? Today, we have specially brought our honey for you to have a taste. Each of these honeybees was the size of a leopard with patterns on their body resembling tiger stripes, golden with black stripes on top. They were speaking politely, but their tone contained a threatening and forceful intent. Verdant Great Sun complained in his heart. This was truly misfortune befalling on someone who merely stayed home. Tiger-striped honeybees were very powerful. He was not a match against one of them, let alone a whole group. Verdant Great Sun could only reluctantly taste the honey wine inside the beehive. He had only taken a sip when his eyes brightened. Honey wine was sweet but not overly sweet. The wine fragrance was mellow and very delicious, absolutely a treasure of the world. Delicious, delicious, really delicious. This honey wine makes one feel like the most fortunate person in the world. Verdant Great Sun drank a mouthful of wine, praising it to the high heavens. Tiger-striped honeybees laughed, feeling very happy. The leader asked Verdant Great Sun, tell us which tastes more delicious, our honey wine or the wines of the 4 heaven and earth monkeys? Verdant Great Sun was already drunk and forgot about the terror of the tiger-striped honeybees. Speaking frankly, they all have their own merits. It is very difficult to compare them. Tiger-striped honeybees were furious. He said our wine is actually at the same level as those mere monkeys? This Verdant Great Sun is too hateful. We need to teach him a lesson. They were just about to attack when suddenly Verdant Great Sun disappeared. This intoxication of Verdant Great Sun lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. In his haziness, he heard a voice calling out for him from the darkness. Verdant Great Sun, wake up quick. If you don't wake up, you will be eaten. Verdant Great Sun was startled awake. He discovered he was bound up and was being carried by a group of savage people. This group of savage people had hair all over their body and their 2 eyes were dark blue. There was already a bonfire burning, and above the bonfire was a cauldron. The savage people quietly sat down, speaking pleasant-sounding words. We are refining eternal Gu, and we're just lacking a human to be the catalyst. Now heaven has sent us Verdant Great Sun. It is truly worthy of celebration. Human is the spirit of all living beings. Renzu is the spirit ancestor. Verdant Great Sun was born from his left eye and has ample spiritual energy. The way I see it, the refinement will succeed this time. Throw him into the cauldron quick. We will obtain eternal Gu and live for eternity. Verdant Great Sun turned pale from fright at these words, immediately shouting out and struggling with all his strength. However, these savage people remained unmoved. At this very moment, Verdant Great Sun again heard the voice from before in his mind. Sigh, it is no use. These savages are the hairy men, loved by the world. They have an innate talent in refining goo worms. Verdant Great Sun instantly forgot his predicament and curiously asked in his mind, "Who are you?" That voice laughed. "I am divine travel goo. As long as any person drinks 4 different top-tier wines in the world, they will give birth to me in their hearts. I can let you teleport to any place you wish." Verdant Great Sun was exulted. "Then, please quickly bring me out of here." Divine Travel Goo sighed. "It is no use. You can only use me when you are drunk. Your mind is sober now, and so you can't use me." Verdant Great Sun suddenly realized, "So that is why I was trapped in the isolated island and almost starved to death that time. Fortunately, I obtained reputation goo and could leave the ordinary abyss. So it was you who harmed me." Divine Travel Goo replied, "Sigh, human, I did not have any intent to harm you. It was all because you used my strength after you became drunk. You don't need to blame me. Last time you were almost captured by the tiger-striped honeybees, but you were able to escape thanks to me. 1 harm and 1 rescue. We can call it even." Verdant Great Sun also thought of the tiger-striped honeybees and no longer blamed Divine Travel Goo. He was thrown into the cauldron by the hairy men. The huge fire was burning hotter under the cauldron, and the liquid temperature inside also soared. "Add agates and red pepper." A hairy man threw precious agates and red pepper into the cauldron. The liquid inside the cauldron immediately changed to red and dyed Verdant Great Sun's body red. "Add blue smoke, foxchild." A hairy man grabbed a small fox and threw it into the cauldron. The small fox's whole body was hairy and looked extremely cute with its eyes like black diamonds. But the moment it touched the liquid, it turned into blue smoke and blended into the water. The liquid in the cauldron slowly boiled, and Verdant Great Sun also felt more despair, feeling it would be difficult to escape the disaster this time. Hairy men continued to add in many supplementary materials and goo worms. Add vanity goo. A hairy man threw a goo into the cauldron. This goo was strange and looked like a huge blue crab. But different from real crabs, its crab shell was hollow. The moment it saw Verdant Great Sun, the huge crab-like vanity goo was very excited. You are Verdant Great Sun? I have heard about you, but had never expected I would meet you here. It is really my good fortune. I am too happy, too excited." Verdant Great Sun gave a bitter smile. "How can it be good fortune when we are about to die? I don't care about death. I only wanted to ask, how did you become so famous? I really admire you. I have the utmost admiration for people like you." Vanity Goo asked with urgency, "I am not in the mood to talk about this now. I need to escape." Verdant Great Sun struggled in the cauldron and tried to climb up, but was quickly pressed down into the cauldron by a watching hairy man. "Quick, tell me quick." Vanity Goo was not tactful and wholeheartedly wanted to ask for guidance. Verdant Great Sun furiously rebuked, "Can't you see the situation we are in now?" Vanity Goo opened its eyes wide and started at Verdant Great Sun before it beamed with pleasure. I understand now. If I want to be popular, I need to endure the heat. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you." Verdant Great Sun, "As thanks, I will do a favor for you." Saying so, the Vanity Goo exploded. This explosion was not intense and was very light, only giving off a soft bang sound. The Vanity Goo turned into a formless poisonous wind and attacked the hearts of all the hairy men. The crystal-clear dark blue eyes of the hairy men turned red. Verdant Great Sun was dazed for a good while, before coming back to his senses. He could not help sighing at Vanity Goo's sacrifice, and immediately shouted, "Although you hairy men can refine goo, but it is nothing. Even if you all live for eternity, so what? You are so ugly with hair all over your body, you are simply an abomination." The hairy men were stupefied. If it was before, they would not care about Verdant Great Sunday, but now, the poison of vanity had spread in the depths of their hearts, shrouding their intelligence. Hearing Verdant Great Sun's shouts, the hairy men started refuting loudly. "Nonsense, nonsense. We hairy men are the most perfect. There can be nothing more beautiful than hair all over the body." Verdant Great Sun was suddenly hit by an inspiration. "No matter how beautiful your hair is, could it be as beautiful as my hair?" Because he had drank Vidra Monkey's strong wine, his hair had become blazing fire. The hairy men were baffled at his words. The beautiful fire was flickering and changing all the time. Even they could not help but admit the movement of Verdant Great Sun's hair was beautiful. Verdant Great Sun continued to stimulate them. "Even if you obtain eternity, you won't be as beautiful as me. Look at my hair. It is as colorful and charismatic as fire." The hairy men were spurred on by Verdant Great Sun, and finally someone could not endure it. "You have such amazing hair. I will have it too. Look at mine." He then used a fire torch to ignite his whole body. The hair on his body burned, and he became a fiery man. Ha ha ha, you only have beautiful hair, but my whole body is beautiful now. This hairy man shouted. Soon, the other hairy men also rushed to do the same. All of them became fiery men, the fire burned them, and the intense pain caused them to howl in pain. But when they realized this, it was too late for them to extinguish the fire, and bombastically displayed their beauty. Divine Travel Gu was overjoyed and praised Verdant Great Sun endlessly. Human, you are really clever, actually thinking of this method. Verdant Great Sun escaped out of the cauldron and succeeded in surviving. He replied in his mind with a cold smile, it is not me who is clever. It is the vanity in people that have turned them stupid. They often silently endure pain for false beauty, giving up the goals they should truly pursue. Grand White Moon Gold, Skull Stones, Dragonside Tooth, Young Autumn Grass along with 50 primeval stones, a flower boar gu, and a boar cage gu. This was handed to Fang Yuan as the materials for gu refinement. In front of him. The hairy man was already sitting cross-legged on the ground and refining gu. Although Fang Yuan was not a refinement path gu master, he had ventured into the refinement path in his previous life and knew many recipes. Right now, he had 3 choices. Every choice would refine a new gu. The inheritance did not mention which gu he had to refine. This meant the gu he refined needed to be better than the hairy man. Fang Yuan looked at the process of the hairy man refining gu and could already guess what he was going to refine. He sneered inwardly, but on his face appeared a respectful and flattering smile. Lord Hairy Man, you are really amazing. The method of your gu refinement really makes this one sigh in amazement. You are a gu refinement grandmaster. There is no gu in this world which you can't refine. Ah? Haha. You, tactful. The hairy man laughed loudly, clearly happy. This distraction immediately caused the gu refinement to fail. The hairy man's expression suddenly changed and shouted in fear. No. But it was already late. Heavenly power descended as lightning and struck the hairy man into ashes. Hee. Fang Yuan indifferently laughed and collected the materials in his hand. Under the paper crane gu's lead, he slowly walked towards the next round. Chapter 358, New Trump Card. Light dispersed, and a gu slowly landed onto Fang Yuan's palm. This was water cage gu, which was used especially to capture wild gu worms and was very effective. The hairy man in front was in the process of refining gu. When he saw Fang Yuan was already done, he immediately let out a desperate howl. Thunder crackled in the sky, and the hairy man was killed. Similar to King Quan inheritance, King Xian inheritance was also extremely cruel. Gu masters had to tread through blood and death to move a step forward. Fang Yuan sighed and stored the water cage gu before continuing forward. If he remembered correctly, this was already the 32nd round in King Xian inheritance. King Xian inheritance was an inheritance related to refinement path. The difficulty increased every 10 rounds, and the hairy men that appeared also became smarter and stronger. In the early 20 or so rounds, Fang Yuan was able to rely on his speech to flatter the hairy men and disrupt their concentration, causing their gu refinement to fail and give him effortless victories. But starting from 30th round, the hairy men that appeared were huge and had remarkable intelligence. Fang Yuan could only compete fairly, but fortunately, the gu refinement materials of the first 20 rounds were accumulated by Fang Yuan and gave him ample options in refining gu. These gu refinement materials could be saved by the gu masters and used for future rounds. This was also a trick King Xian had left behind when she set up his inheritance. In Fang Yuan's previous life, this trick was made public only after a year. Right now, it was a secret. Even if some people realized this trick, the number was only a small fraction of the participants. Fang Yuan was able to rush forward like this because of his plentiful accumulation and his previous life's experiences. His achievement here were even better than at King Quan inheritance. From 40th round, the difficulty of King Xian inheritance increased by several folds. At this stage, gu masters could use one of their gu. But in King Xian inheritance, the gu they use must be of refinement path. Fang Yuan did not have any refinement path gu. The materials on him were also almost used up. He began to feel the difficulty of advancing forward. It was become very difficult to cross each round. What was good was that after 40th round, King Xian inheritance gave the gu masters a corresponding reward. These rewards could be refinement path gu worms, recipes, primeval stones, and so on, and were very generous. When Fang Yuan broke through to 44th round, he was given an opportunity to leave. He took this opportunity and left King Xian inheritance. The time he spent this time in King Xian inheritance was even longer than in King Quan inheritance. Returning to Sancha Mountain, Fang Yuan found Tai Clan's purple light barrier was still standing tall. Tai Clan's 4 old-timers were very patient and did not enter 3 Kings inheritance. Bai Ning Bing was still trapped. The 3 light pillars on the mountain peaks had already shrunk down to a cup-sized thickness, but as long as the light pillars existed, even if it was only the thickness of a tiny needle, it meant the doors had not closed and people could still enter. But every time the inheritance opened up, no matter which inheritance of 3 Kings inheritance Gu masters chose, they could only enter one time. Fang Yuan looked for Li Xian and made another transaction again. Li Xian received many things from Fang Yuan and was inwardly startled. I have a bad news for you. Tai Clan's 4 old-timers have already requested for support from their clan. Tai Clan has already sent a group of reinforcements over, and it might be unfavorable for Sir. Fang Yuan was not surprised. This action of Tai Clan's 4 old-timers was also within his expectations. Who did they send as reinforcements? The head is Tai Clan's Taiba Xiao. He is a strength pathgu master with rank 4 upper stage cultivation. Besides him, there is also Tai Ruan Nan. She is one of the 8 young masters of Tai Clan and is a rising star who has been in limelight these 2 years. Every one of Tai Clan's 8 young masters are dragons and phoenixes. Especially this Tai Ruan Nan. She is the daughter of divine investigator Tai Shuelang and already has rank 4 initial stage cultivation at such a young age. Li Xian placed emphasis on Tai Ruan Nan in this batch of reinforcements and only gave small snippets of information regarding Tai Ba Xiu and others. Tai Ba Xiu was already a famous character and everyone knew of him. But Tai Ruan Nan was a rising star and could only be said to have some reputation and had yet to be famous around southern border. Li Xian, however, did not know Fang Yuan was familiar with Tai Ruan Nan. Sure enough, she advanced to rank 4. Tai Ba Xiu. Tai Clan indeed sent this group just like in my previous life. Fang Yuan pondered in his mind. Li Xian had been observing Fang Yuan's expression the whole time, but seeing him remain calm, he was increasingly feeling more afraid. Lord Little Beast King, when this batch of Tai clansmen arrives, Tai Clan's 4 old-timers will be free to deal with Bai Ning Bing. There is still time if you make a move now. Li Xian persuaded, with sincerity showing all over his face. I will have to ask you to pay more attention to our future deals. Fang Yuan smiled and left the cave. The moment Fang Yuan left, Li Xian's expression turned grave. His small eyes flashed with sharp light. I have been fanning the flames to this extent, but this little beast king remains unmoved. Is he really not worried about his partner's safety? Could it be the relation between Bai Ning Bing and him is not as close as the rumors say? He is a man, and Bai Ning Bing is so beautiful, he will definitely go rescue her. It seems I need to contact Hu Mei Er. Riling up people's emotions had become basic nature to him. He watched others fight and fished in troubled water, obtaining huge benefits. Is this true? Hu Mei Er's eyes brightened with high spirits when she got the news from Li Xian. Why would I deceive my darling? Li Xian smiled while caressing Hu Mei Er's waist. Hu Mei Er smiled tenderly and threw herself into Li Xian's chest, acting coquettishly. It is still big brother Li Xian who loves me the most. A round pearl quietly rested on Fang Yuan's palm. It was golden all over and was only the size of a thumb. In the dusky cave, the pearl let out faint golden luster. This was a yellow gold relic gu, rank 4 gu. This gu's market supply was strictly controlled by all great clans. Even Li Xian could not get it. It was all because this gu could directly raise a rank 4 gu master's cultivation by a small realm. Rank 4 and rank 5 were already the higher-ups of a clan. A yellow gold relic gu could change the power structure of the higher-ups. I was quite lucky this time, actually receiving a yellow gold relic gu as reward in King Xian inheritance. Fang Yuan sighed before activating this gu with a thought. Yellow gold relic gu immediately turned into golden ray of light and entered Fang Yuan's aperture. The 90% primeval sea in Fang Yuan's aperture surged and ebbed. In the center, spring-autumn cicada appeared and disappeared at times. When yellow gold relic gu entered the aperture, it was firmly suppressed by the indistinct aura of spring-autumn cicada. Fang Yuan could only make spring-autumn cicada conceal itself, then use yellow gold relic gu. A ball of golden light immediately spread and covered the whole aperture. Bright golden primeval essence converged together, cleansing the aperture walls. A night passed, and when the light of clear dawn shone upon Sancha Mountain, Fang Yuan slowly opened his eyes. Rank 4 middle stage. If he used 9 Eyes Liquor Worm, he would possess rank 4 upper stage essence gold primeval essence. This moment, he had officially surpassed Bai Ning Bing in cultivation. At the same time, the stable aperture walls could bear even more of spring-autumn cicadas pressure now, somewhat delaying this death warrant. Next, it is refining goo. Fang Yuan did not urgently use liquor worm, but instead took out a goo. This goo was a ball of bone the size of a quail egg. On the surface, there were alternating black and white stripes like on a zebra. Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing had once used this to soar to the skies. This was the footless bird. Although it was only at rank 3, it could move 10,000 miles and was the #1 mount under rank 5. But it had a great weakness. It could only fly once. The moment it landed, it was the moment of its death. This footless bird goo was also obtained from King Xian inheritance as a reward for Fang Yuan. 9 Palace flowers, aspiring stone. Golden crow's essence, chilling grass. Fang Yuan threw all these materials into the footless bird goo and also constantly threw in primeval stones. Most of these goo refinement materials were materials Fang Yuan had remaining from King Xian inheritance. While a portion was bought from Li Xian, he used up a total of 180,000 primeval stones before the goo refinement finished. Bone Wings goo. It was a rank 4 goo. It looked like a feather, was spotless white, had bony texture, and was light as a feather. Under Fang Yuan's will, this goo flew towards his back and spread, forming into something resembling 2 pairs of folded wings that covered almost all of Fang Yuan's back. He poured primeval essence into the Bone Wings goo. Suddenly, intense pain attacked him as countless bones grew out from his backbone and ribs. The bony outgrowth pierced through his flesh and grew out before converging together and forming 2 enormous bone wings. These bone wings were like the wings on a bird, wide and long. When folded up, the tail of the wings could touch the ground. The current Fang Yuan was truly an 8-foot-tall man. Whoosh! There was a soft sound as the bone wings stretched out. The cave did not look so spacious anymore. Normal bone wings were spotless white. But the bone wings on Fang Yuan was not only pitch black, but also let out a metallic luster like that of steel and iron. This was because Fang Yuan's skeleton surpassed ordinary, having been reformed by iron bone goo, and at the same time, he had constantly been using rank 4 essence iron bone recently. This led to Fang Yuan's bone wings to far surpass other people's in terms of sturdiness. Rather than to say they were only bone wings, it was better to say they were iron bone wings. Fang Yuan softly flapped the wings. There was only a blowing sound before a strong whirlwind blew up. Bone wings could be used as he wished and was like a natural part of his body. Fang Yuan nodded in satisfaction. Ordinary goo masters were rather cautious in using bone wings goo. They would often train for 2 to 3 years before they were able to fly. If it were to be used in battle, they would have to train even longer, at least 5 years and above. After all, humans were creatures who walked on the ground and not flying creatures. However, Fang Yuan had no such problem. After 500 years in his previous life, he had similarly gained plentiful experiences in terms of flying. One could well imagine, if he suddenly used them, it was sure to catch his enemies off guard. His newly advanced cultivation and bone wings goo became the new trump. Cards of Fang Yuan. Now, it is time to deal with Bai Ningbing's matter. Fang Yuan kept the bone wings, a chilling light flashing past his eyes. Chapter 359. Obstruction. A group of 7 people silently moved through a forest. We have been hurrying on our way without resting all these days and are already very close to Sancha Mountain. Tai Ba Xiu thought while rushing through the forest, stepping across stones and tree roots. He was tall and had a buff physique. On his square face was a steady expression which gave a feeling of reliability. His cultivation was rank 4 upper stage, and his fame had spread throughout southern border. When he was young, he was spurned by the clan, pushed aside and forced to drift outside. Then he encountered a righteous goo master inheritance and changed to strength path, making his name renowned in the world. Now, he was a famous character of the righteous path. With rank 5 goo, Earth Overlord, he was called Present Age Overlord, and had battle strength that surpassed ordinary rank 4 peak stage. At present, there are 5 rank 4 peak stage goo masters on Sancha Mountain: Longqing Tian, Yichong, Kongri Tian, Wushintong, and Yihua. Among them, Yihua's battle prowess is very high and will be the strongest opponent. In addition to this, there will be more and more formidable characters who will join this struggle. It is just that I do not know what Tai Ruan Nan has planned. Thinking of this, Tai Ba Xiu could not help turning his gaze towards Tai Ruan Nan, who was running beside him. Although he had impressive battle prowess, in the group that was sent over this time by the clan, he was not the head. Rather, it was a young junior, Tai Ruan Nan. After Tai Ruan Nan returned to the clan, she cultivated hard and displayed extremely strong aptitude and talent. Now, she was already one of the Tai clan's 8 young masters. She was meticulous, sensitive to the smallest details, and was already being called Little Divine Investigator. She was the strongest rising star that emerged in Tai clan these years. She was gradually soaring up and was being watched by many. This time, when the 4 old-timers requested for reinforcements, the clan made an exception and appointed Tai Ruan-nan as the leader of this group. Even Tai Ba Xiu, this famous senior, had to obey her orders. This showed how much the Tai clan higher-ups expected from her. Tai Ba Xiu only took a glance before retracting his gaze. He was not in the least bit concerned about the clan's arrangement and was also not jealous. Tai Ba Xiu was very loyal to the clan. For the clan's future hope, he was willing to be an assistant, willing to become a stepping stone. In fact, when he was down and out, he had received divine investigator Tai Xuelang's help. Tai Ba Xiu had always felt grateful towards him, and with the interaction over these days, he sensed Tai Ruan-nan's brilliance. As expected of divine investigator's daughter, Big Brother Xuelang, you have a worthy successor. You can rest assured in the afterlife. Tai Ba Xiu was gratified. He was very satisfied with Tai Ruan-nan. Not only did he admire her cultivation talents, he admired her leadership capability even more. Outstanding young Gu masters had gathered around Tai Ruan-nan. Not mentioning anything else, one just needed to look at the current group of people. Tai Mu, rank 3 peak stage Gu master, looked gentlemanly and was brimming with talent. He had received many invitations, but he chose to join Tai Ruan-nan. Tai Ao Kai, rank 3 upper stage, he might look dazed and sleepy, but in the field of investigative ability, he had true prowess. There was also Tai Dao Ku, an offense Gu master with outstanding battle prowess. He had once served another young master, but was now recruited by Tai Ruan-nan. Tai Xianhua, one of the beauties in the clan, young and beautiful. Even clan elders praised her defensive abilities. These talents gathered under Tai Ruan-nan and would become her crew. Tai Ba Xiu seemed to see the radiant scene where this crew endlessly grew and assisted Tai Ruan-nan in ascending to the position of clan leader. Each one of the 8 young masters of Tai clan had a chance to contend for clan leader's position as they ran quickly. Lights and shadows fluctuated in their vision, and green light shone on Tai Ruan-nan's face. Her slender legs revealed her youthful beauty as she ran through the forest. Having gained much experiences these years, Tai Ruan-nan had clearly matured. Her brows were sharp as sword and her eyes shone like the stars. When one looked at her from the side, one could feel her power. Her thick eyelashes shaded the resolute light in her eyes. Sancha Mountain. She recited this name in her mind. She had already received news about Sancha Mountain, and she was even aware that Sancha Mountain had become a place of unstable changes, a struggling whirlpool that swallowed lives, engulfing countless people of both demonic and righteous paths. Originally, Tai Ruan-nan had not thought of participating, but an unexpected information made her realize there were hidden details regarding Qingmao Mountain back then. Her father Tai Xuelang lost his life at Qingmao Mountain. A hero of a generation had fallen. Anything that concerned her father, she had to check it out. Thus, she personally accepted the order and hurried to Sancha Mountain. By Ningbing. Fang Zhang. The truth about Qingmao Mountain, I will get to the bottom of it. The group moved forward. The group of 7 moved in standard battle formation. The investigative Gu master Tai Ao Kai was at front, Tai Ruan-nan and Tai Ba Xiu was at middle. Healing Gu master was at the rear with defensive Gu master Tai Xianhua beside him. And no matter what the terrain was, the battle formation showed no signs of disorder. No matter what happened, this group responded to it at the first sight and was not caught unprepared. Who is it? Suddenly, Tai Ao Kai, who was at the front, stopped and shouted, alerting the group. Something happened. The whole group swiftly came to a stop. The formation changed slightly to form into the best battle array. It was both closely linked and was also faintly loose to leave a way for retreat. They could attack if they progressed, and defend if they retreated. A person who crossed his arms and was standing on a boulder glanced down at this group of people. He was tall, with strong back and narrow waist. Although he was not exaggeratedly muscular, he still gave a feeling of sturdiness. He was wearing tight-fitting black clothes. He was standing there alone, but it felt like a mountain was standing, especially his black pupils. They were dark as abyss and gave an unfathomable feeling. Fang Zhang. Tai Ruan-nan's pupil shrunk when she saw this person and blurted out. This person was indeed Fang Yuan. Tai Ruan-nan, we meet again. The corner of Fang Yuan's lips curled up into a smile. A grim intent was revealed from his expression. Little Beast King. Tai Shio's eyes narrowed and a severe light flashed past them. The other 5 people of the group were behaving like they were facing a great enemy. They were very well equipped with intel and knew the person in front of them. A rising star of the demonic path with outstanding battle prowess. His actions were wild and unrestrained, an extremely dangerous character. Feng Yuan. I trust you have been since we last met? Tai Ruan-nan revealed a complicated expression on her face and continued after a sigh. Feng Yuan, you came to compromise? Actually, there is nothing to it. I know the struggles of 3 kings' inheritance. You either live or die. There are no ways for retreat. Ning Bing ran into my Tai clan's Gu master and killed him in as a last-ditch move. I have friendly relations with you both. How about this? Come to Tai clan as a guest, explain the matter clearly and redeem this sin by doing some assignments for Tai clan. I can plead for leniency for you, and Tai clan won't pursue this matter anymore. When she was speaking, Tai Aokai nervously activated his Gu to secretly scan his surroundings. It was truly strange. Fang Yuan appeared alone. Maybe there were others lying in ambush. Fang Yuan could not help but sneer at Tai Ruan-nan's words. Sin? She only killed a person. What sin is there? The only slight difference is this person has a somewhat tougher background. That's all. Tai Ruan-nan, I didn't think you were so childish. Thinking of luring me into going to Tai clan and capture me there? When I enter Tai clan, I will be a dragon swimming in shallow water, a tiger moving in plain sight. Wouldn't I be completely at your mercy then? Tai Ruan-nan deeply furrowed her brows. Feng Yuan, you have changed a lot over these years. You feel no guilt over killing a person? Anyway, I am not telling lies. I pledge on my honor that I will guarantee your safety and guarantee you will be given fair trial. Fang Yuan scoffed. Is your Tai clan considered safe? At the moment, divine thief Lu Feng has been causing havoc at Tai clan, even infiltrating demon suppression tower. Your Tai clan can't even help yourselves. Can you guarantee my safety? Laughable, truly laughable. What? The clan has kept the news regarding divine thief Lu Feng confidential. He is an outsider and has also been staying far away here at Sancha Mountain. How could he be so clear of the matter? The 7 people of Tai clan turned pale. Divine thief Lu Feng was a rank 5 expert. The matter of him infiltrating demon suppression tower had already caused a lot of disturbance in Tai clan's higher-ups. Tai clan had always viewed itself as the holy land of the righteous path. Its demon suppression tower was even a renowned prison for the demonic path, but Lu Feng entered and left it as he pleased. This level of humiliation and disgrace was tightly guarded and kept a secret by Tai clan. Even top clans like Wu clan and Shang clan had no knowledge of it. However, this little beast king unexpectedly knew it. Do you really believe such nonsense? Tai Shio could not help but refuse it as it concerned the reputation of Tai clan. Leader, there are no one in the surroundings. He is alone. At this time, Tai Aokai reported in a soft voice that a bright light immediately flashed through Tai Ruan-nan's mind and she fixed her gaze at Feng Yuan. Feng Yuan, I understand your intent. You want to use this information to blackmail us in exchange for Bai Ningbing's life? We can do that, but we need to know how you came to know about this secret. Otherwise, we will absolutely not let her go. Feng Yuan threw his head back and laughed loudly. Tai Ruan-nan, you were truly naive. I just spoke those words casually. You still don't understand the purpose of me coming here? Don't you know there is a battle tactic called besiege an enemy stronghold in order to strike at the reinforcements? What, you want to go against us? Tai Ruan-nan's pupils slightly widened, revealing an inconceivable expression. The others also looked at Feng Yuan as if they were looking at an idiot. We are a group of 7 while you are just by yourself. We have rank 4 upper stage senior Tai Shio, rank 4 initial stage Tai Ruan-nan, and 5 rank 3 Gu masters, each of them an expert. Just you alone wants to go against us. Has this little beast king lost his mind? Is there a problem with his brain? For a moment, everyone had this thought. Feng Yuan knew their thoughts as he looked at the change in their expression and eyes. He did not feel like refuting them. With a cold smile, he suddenly pounced towards the group from high above like a northern goshawk. He really attacked? Looking for death. The 7 people were both startled and furious. No, this aura, how could he be at rank 4 middle stage? Next instance, the 7 all felt their hearts thump as they sensed the aura on Feng Yuan. Facts speak louder than words. Rank 4 middle stage, not initial stage. Tai Ruan-nan's eyes opened wide and was stunned at the revelation. Chapter 360, 1 verses 7, 1/4. Feng Yuan had been using breath concealment Gu and restrained his aura as much as possible. But now that he made a move, his true aura exploded out. Add into that, Tai Ruan-Nan's group had the preconceived belief that Fang Yuan had rank 4 initial stage cultivation. Thus, for a moment, this 7-person group was very surprised. Rank 4 middle stage. This little beast king is so young but has surpassed young master Ruan-Nan. Rank 4 middle stage. No wonder he could be so arrogant. So what if he is at rank 4 middle stage? He actually dared to approach us alone. He is simply seeking his own doom. All sorts of thoughts flashed in the Tai clan's group's minds. Thud. A dull sound echoed. Tai Ba Xiu came back to his senses the fastest and stiffly struck against Fang Yuan's fist in midair. Tai Ba Xiu stably fell to the ground while Fang Yuan was sent flying. Fang Jing, you want to find trouble with us just by yourself? I know you wanted to rescue your partner by Ning Bing, but think it over. You can't act rashly in a matter of rescuing someone. It is still not too late for you to pull back. If you continue to fight, you will truly be setting yourself against our Tai clan. If that happens, your partner's life will also be on the line. Tai Ba Xiu expressed himself in few words, seemingly earnest, but was in truth attempting to break Fang Yuan's fighting spirit, truly proving old ginger is hotter than new. Hee hee. Fang Yuan chuckled and looked at Tai Ba Xiu, and the rest. His gaze completely exposed his killing intent. So what if you're a Tai clan? So what if I oppose you? If I really can't save by Ning Bing, then I can only blame it on our bad luck. In any case, I already did my best. Such ruthless and indifference caused the Tai clan's 7 people to feel a chill in their hearts. Fang Yuan turned towards Tai Ao Kai. You over there, you don't need to scout anymore. It is just me alone. Frankly, this path you guys chose is really good, very hidden, and very suitable for me to kill you all. Hearing these words, Tai Ba Xiu's expression completely turned dark. Fang Zheng, you are seeking your own death. Death? Fang Yuan started laughing loudly without any restraint. Is this guy crazy? Has Little Beast King going mad from cultivation and lost his mind? Demonic path people are all lunatics like this. The group all felt the situation was going to be problematic from the unbridled laughter of Fang Yuan. Fierce people were afraid of unreasonable people, and unreasonable people were afraid of those that did not care about death. Despite there being 7 people in Tai clan's side and Fang Yuan was alone, the Tai clan's group felt fear. This type of lunatic that was suicidal and did not care about his own life. What was there that he could not do? Fang Yuan suddenly stopped laughing and stepped forward, producing a loud sound. Like a tiger that left the mountain, he resumed his attacks again. Fight. Tai Ruan-Nan shouted with a heavy expression, knowing this fight was inevitable. Tai Ba Xiu retreated and stood beside Tai Ruan-Nan. Tai Daoku and Tai Xianhua moved to the front together, and Tai Ao Kai started running at the side. The whole formation was instantly loosened up like a sack being opened, displaying their skilled battle tactics coordination. Charging Crash Gu. Fang Yuan rushed forward like a bull. The stones under him were smashed as he moved with powerful momentum and penetrated into Tai clan's sack. Without any fear. Little Beast King, you are simply too arrogant. Tai Xianhua shouted in her delicate voice and stretched out the 5 fingers of her right hand. There was a soft sound and an enormous black golden lotus flower blossomed instantly from her palm. The lotus bloomed. Its huge petals were bent down, forming arcs like an umbrella. The dark green lotus stalk continued to grow, and in a blink of an eye was over an arm's size, becoming the handle of the umbrella. Tai Xianhua plucked this lotus with her left hand and then charged towards Fang Yuan while holding the dark green lotus stalk. Umbrella Lotus Gu. Tai Xianhua was petite while the umbrella lotus was huge and completely covered her, becoming a shield and firmly protecting her. Fang Yuan sneered. A white elephant phantom appeared above him. Beast Phantom, the strength of an elephant. Bam. With no surprise, Fang Yuan sent Tai Xianhua, who was blocking his path, flying. Tai Xianhua flew a whole 10 feet like a dead leaf blown by the wind. What great strength! She gritted her teeth, enduring the intense pain from the collision. She twisted her body in the midair and quickly found a balance, landing on the ground without falling. But the expected attack did not follow. Fang Yuan ignored her existence and directly charged towards Tai Ruan-Nan. Damn it, he is going after young master. We must block him, protect young master. The battle will and killing intent of the group was ignited when they saw Fang Yuan targeting Tai Ruan-Nan. Tai Ruan-Nan half-kneeled. Her 2 hands were pressed on the ground. From the moment the battle started, she was creating a puppet. Plants grew wildly near her. The fragile grass beside her feet grew to an adult man's height. Dozens of huge grass intertwined. In the emerald green light, a grassman puppet was created. Grass Puppet Gu. Fang Yuan had seen rank 1 grass puppet Gu at Qingmao Mountain. It was used as a target for practicing moon blades. Rank 1 grass puppet goo was of no threat, but once it reached rank 2, it could easily kill an ordinary hunter. The one Tai Ruan Nan was using right now was rank 3 grass puppet goo. The grassman puppet she created was short and thin, the leaves tightly weaved together. Its one hand was holding a bamboo blade and another hand was raising a rattan shell shield. This was rattan shell grass soldier. It possessed the strength to kill a rank 1 goo master. Just one rattan shell grass soldier was no threat to Fang Yuan. But once their numbers increased, they became troublesome. Rattan shell grass soldier were often used as cannon fodder to consume the opposing goo master's primeval essence. Most importantly, using a rank 4 goo master's strength, a dozen rattan shell soldiers could combine into a rank 4 grass sword elite soldier. In this short moment, Tai Ruan Nan already had 18 rattan shell grass soldiers beside her. Tai Ruan Nan. Fang Yuan was filled with killing intent, his icy and sharp gaze firmly locked onto Tai Ruan Nan. This woman possessed outstanding talents similar to Bai Ningbing, and she had also investigated the affairs on Qingmao Mountain. She could not be left alive. Fang Yuan had already wanted to kill her back at Shang Clan City, but the time had not been good then. Tai Ruan Nan did not budge. She chose to believe in her partners and was still creating rattan shell grass soldiers. Block him. Tai Ao Kai flung his sleeves and a large swarm of golden needle mosquitoes flew out. Don't even think of taking a step further. Tai Daoku rushed towards Fang Yuan while activating hand blade goo and swift shadow goo. Fang Yuan laughed and directly clashed head-on without evading it. Golden needle mosquitoes pierced tiny blood holes all over his body. Tai Daoku's arms struck his chest and slashed out long wounds. Fang Yuan howled with laughter and stepped forward with his head high, blood flowing out from the wounds all over his body. He is wounded. The Tai clan group was solemn. If it were other enemies that were wounded, the Tai clan group would feel happy and relaxed, but Fang Yuan possessed bitter strength goo. The heavier the injuries he suffered, the stronger his fighting strength became. Green bull, horse, stone turtle. Sure enough, 3 more beast phantoms appeared above Fang Yuan. He opened the way with his huge strength that could not be blocked. Tai Xianhua rushed over and was casually sent flying by Fang Yuan. Tai Daoku helplessly retreated while Tai Ao Kai could only wander at the sidelines. Good, tyrant strength goo. Fang Yuan was about to reach Tai Ruan Nan when Tai Ba Xiu shouted and stepped forward. Bam! There was a huge explosive sound from the collision of the two. Both were sent back 7 to 8 steps. It was a draw. Fang Yuan had 4 beast phantoms, but Tai Ba Xiu was not famous for nothing. His rank 4 tyrant strength goo was inherited from the ancient strength path and possessed the strength of Overlord. Interesting. Again. Fang Yuan's eyes shone brightly and he charged forward again. Tai Ba Xiu greeted him head-on, firmly blocking his way. Tai Daoku and others all let out a breath of turbid air, feeling relief as they looked at this scene. Little Beast King is finally stopped. This is Senior Tai Ba Xiu. Fang Zheng is trapped within our tight encirclement. He is sure to die. The Tai clan group's fighting spirit soared as Fang Yuan lost his momentum. In their eyes, he was like a bull that had fallen into trap. His threat had greatly decreased. All of them joined into attack. All kinds of attacks like swarm of golden needle mosquitoes, flower rain and hand blades were thrown at Fang Yuan from all directions. Fang Yuan's skin was torn open. The wounds on his body was becoming more serious, and he had no choice but to use Golden Shield goo to defend. At the same time, he also used Self-Reliance goo to heal his body. The more he fought, the stronger he got, but Tai Ba Xiu was unexpectedly also the same. He possessed rank 5 Earth Overlord goo, which allowed him to absorb an endless amount of strength from the earth, making his tyrant strength goo stronger and stronger. Tai Ba Xiu continuously activated Earth Overlord goo, acquiring formless strength from the earth that empowered his tyrant strength goo and continued to increase his strength. The battle was in a stalemate. Fang Yuan and Tai Ba Xiu fought intensely, beating each other up with punches and kicks. They were the center of the fight. Like human-shaped beasts, each of their moves carried heavy weight, and wherever the fight went, stones shattered and dust flew. Howl. Suddenly, there was a beast howl and a beast phantom appeared above Fang Yuan. Lightning curled around it. Its tusks were exposed outside, and it gave off extremely violent aura. Thunderboar Phantom. Tai Xianhua, who was blocking Fang Yuan's path, was suddenly sent flying. Umbrella Lotus goo broke, and its petals scattered in the air. Xinhua, persevere. Taimu rushed over and held Tai Xianhua, who was throwing up huge amounts of blood, and promptly began healing her. At the same time, A group of rattan shell grass soldiers came over and blocked any gaps in the surroundings, defending these 2.by now. There were already close to 1,000 rattan shell grass soldiers around Tai Ruan and were already providing support in the battle. At the same time, she was continuously creating new grassman puppets. Tai Ruan walked the enslavement path, and one could not let an enslavement pathgu master like her have enough time to prepare. Enslavement pathgu masters were the best at fighting war of attrition. The longer the time passed, the more unfavorable Fang Yuan's situation would be. The best answer was to directly murder the leader, but this tactic would not work. Fang Yuan was firmly entangled with Taiba Xiao now, a ferocious junior. Taiba Xiao could not help but feel admiration towards Fang Yuan in his heart. Even though he had already predicted it, the strength Fang Yuan displayed still shocked him. He had thought Fang Yuan's power was due to the set of strength path gu with him, inheriting the precious gu worms of ancient strength path, and moreover, their coordination was also exquisite. However, as the battle progressed till this stage, Taiba Xiao could hardly dare to believe the shrewdness, ruthlessness, calmness, and steadiness Fang Yuan displayed. This lad's battle talent, if I was not personally fighting him, I would never believe that there would be such a monster. He needs to be killed. I must kill him. He is even more dangerous than what the intel said. If we give him time to grow, it will be a calamity for the righteous path. Taiba Shi was shocked, and his killing intent soared even more.